What's what's going on, everybody? Making the biz in 5 minutes or less. I'm gonna start doing these things on Mondays and Thursdays. So when I say 5 minutes, I'm literal. You see, there's my little timer right there. I'm about to start it. So look, making the biz. It really does take a lot to go into running a business. Today we're gonna talk a little bit about culture. And one of the things that I realized in running a business, being the president of Brooks and Davis is that as you look to build volume, as you look to grow the size of your any organization, you got to first figure out, especially as you being the head or the person in charge, where are you going? Where's the organization going? What's the point of the organization? What are you looking to accomplish? Like, you got to have a rallying call. Um, and a lot of organizations, what they do is they call that culture. So you got to have a culture, right? You got to have an ideology. You got to have goals that you're looking to reach. Because it's one thing to say, yeah, I'm a boss, I'm an owner, I got a business. But when you try to provide leadership to somebody, if you as an individual aren't clear on where you're taking the company, it's going to be hard for people to follow. See, a lot of times we feel like, oh, that person didn't want to follow me. It's on them, right? It's their fault. But what you got to understand is that it's not about, or what we hear is that, oh, that person just wasn't for us. Like, that wasn't the type of person that needs to be a part of our company. Well, a lot of times that's not the case. You may have a very good employee or agent or consultant or whatever you have, yet you're not clear on where you need to go. See, that's another thing when you're talking culture. It's hard to even really understand who is a fit for the company because the company doesn't have a fit, right? You haven't defined it. And it's not their responsibility to do that. That's your responsibility as the boss, as the owner. So, three things you definitely want to have, right? When we talk about ideology, when we talk about culture, number one, you want to have a goal, like a humongous goal that you want people to achieve, right? The example I can use is back in the 60s when the United States was, we just saw hidden figures. U.S. was looking to get to the moon. And for a decade, that was the rallying call. So you got to have a goal, big, hairy, audacious goal, or BHAG, what some people call it. The next thing is you want to have a purpose. Like, you want to have a single sentence that defines what it is that makes you different. What makes your company different, right? So with Brooks and Davis, it's about creating an environment. Our purpose is about creating a greater experience for every stakeholder in the real estate community, and that's something from an agent to our corporate staff, all the way up to me or even investors. That's what we're about. We're about creating a greater experience for everybody. So if anybody does a deal with one of us, hey, we have a single expectation for every single thing. And then the last thing is your values. Like, what do you stand for? Again, what makes you whatever your ABC employee or 123 company, what makes you you? So like with Brooks and Davis, what makes a person a Brooks and Davis or being a part of Brooks and Davis in our organization? And again, it's not up to the employees or the agents or the people. It's up to you as the boss, as the president, to figure that out. What does that look like? What are we going to align ourselves with? And if you want to have any level of success, you can look at the major companies. They do it. Fortune 500 companies, larger companies that have sustainability in in uh, in what they do. You can identify and see that they're single-minded in what they're looking to accomplish. And again, that flows most of the time. It flows from the founder of the group. And where we see a lot of companies fall off is that that culture, that ideology isn't able to be transferred to those people once that co-founder retires or passes away or what have you. So the thing is about creating it solid, create it strong, and then as the leader, you force that core ideology to flow through the rest of your organization. So that's what I have today. 5 minutes. Oh, making the biz in 5 minutes. Just an opportunity to talk to you guys a little bit about what it really takes to be an owner, to be a boss, and running your own business. So until Thursday, you guys have a good one.